You know, it's so easy to look at the news and feel like the future is, well, kind of bleak. But what if I told you that's not the whole story? Not even close. What if the most exciting chapter in human history is being written right now as we speak? Today, we're not just going to talk about the future. We're going to look at the actual blueprint.
And you know this whole journey into what's next is made possible by AdamAiXpert. Their whole philosophy is that the future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we build together. If that sounds like a mission you want to be a part of, you can join the community by emailing adam@expert@gmail.com.
All right, so let me start by asking you something. Just think about this for a second. What if you could move a cursor on a screen with nothing but your thoughts? I know, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? Well, for some people, it's already their reality.
And that right there is the perfect place to start our first chapter, Humanity Upgraded. We're diving in at the most personal level imaginable. We're talking about technology that connects directly with our bodies, not just to fix what's broken, but to literally unlock potential we never knew we had.
So what you're looking at is a brain-computer interface. I mean, just think about that name. It's this tiny little chip implanted surgically that can actually read the signals from your brain. It's creating a real connection, a true link between the human mind and a machine. This is the whole idea behind Neuralink, and for a man named Nolan, who was paralyzed from the neck down, well, it changed absolutely everything.
I mean, for 8 years after his accident, Nolan was just searching for a sense of purpose. Then he got the Neuralink implant, and his words, "Anything anyone can do on a computer, I can do." And he is not kidding. Just by thinking, he can play video games, send texts. It's a staggering leap forward. It's hard to even wrap your head around.
So, okay, that's the mind, an incredible frontier. But what about the body? This is where we meet Kai. He's a 12-year-old kid, and he was born without an arm. For him, a new beginning, it came with a price tag of $25,000. That's the cost of one of the most advanced bionic arms in the world.
So how does this thing even work? Well, the arm has these amazing sensors that can pick up on his nerve signals, and that lets him actually grab things and even shake hands for the very first time in his life. I mean, his reaction really says it all, doesn't it? This is the best day of my life.
Okay, so these upgrades to the human body are just mind-blowing. But they're really just the start. That same incredible spirit of innovation, it's now totally changing how we all get around. We're talking about a full-on transportation revolution, one that could make the whole idea of distance feel totally different.
Just to put this into perspective, picture this, a simple race to work. You got a normal car on one side, stuck in traffic, you know the drill, following the winding roads. And on the other side, a flying car. It doesn't care about roads, it doesn't care about traffic, it just flies in a straight line and boom, it gets there a whole 10 minutes earlier. I mean, just imagine what that could do for our cities, for our daily lives. And hey, it's not just flying cars either. A company called Wing has already made over 750,000 deliveries with drones, getting packages to remote spots in just minutes. We've got personal jetpacks that can blast you around at over 80 miles per hour. And get this, there are even hypercars with these insane vacuum fans that suck the car to the ground so hard it could literally drive upside down on the ceiling. No joke.
Okay, let's shift gears for a second. We've talked about moving our bodies around the planet. Now let's talk about something even more profound. We're talking about re-engineering life itself. This is the point where technology starts to ask some really big questions, challenging the very foundations of biology.
So to really get a handle on this next leap, you have to understand the sheer scale of the problem we're facing. 220 million. That's not a typo. That's how many chickens are eaten every single day. The impact that has on our planet, on our land and water, it's just massive. And it's exactly that challenge that this new cultivated meat technology is trying to solve.
And the solution is actually surprisingly simple. A company called Upside Foods starts by taking a few cells from a chicken egg. Then they put those cells in a bioreactor. You can just think of it like a big tank that perfectly mimics a chicken's body, giving the cells everything they need to grow. And then, at the end, they just harvest pure, real chicken meat. And their bioreactors, they're so efficient, they produce a chicken's worth of meat every few seconds.
So, what's the result? Well, in blind taste tests, people literally can't tell the difference. It's real meat. It has the same texture, the same flavor, but with one huge fundamental difference. No animal had to die. We're talking about something that could save trillions of animals. It's just incredible.
Okay, so if we can create life in a lab, what about bringing it back, from extinction? Well, a company called Colossal Biosciences is actually doing it. Using ancient DNA, they have already resurrected the dire wolf. The dodo bird? That's next on their list. And you have to hear this. They fully expect to have a living, breathing woolly mammoth walking the earth again within this decade. It's happening.
All right, now let's take all of this ambition and push it to its absolute limit. We've upgraded ourselves, we've revolutionized travel, we've even started re-engineering life. So what's left? What's the final frontier? Well, it's building a brand new home for humanity, somewhere beyond Earth.
What you're looking at here is the biosphere. It was a $500 million experiment out in Arizona, and it's basically, well, it's Earth in a bottle. Seriously, inside this completely sealed building, you've got 5 different biomes: a rainforest, a savanna, a desert, a swamp, even its own little ocean. The whole thing is designed to be a totally self-sustaining ecosystem. It makes its own oxygen, recycles its own water, grows its own food. It is literally the blueprint for how we could one day live on Mars. I mean, having a blueprint for a Mars colony is just amazing, but it brings up a pretty big question, right? It's one thing to know what we'll live in when we get there, but how in the world do we actually get there?
Well, the answer is a $1 billion machine. That is the price tag for just one Starship rocket from SpaceX. It's an absolutely massive investment, but the goal behind it is somehow even bigger: to make humanity a multiplanetary species, for real.
And the scale of this project is it's breathtaking. The plan isn't just to send one rocket. No. SpaceX is building a factory specifically to mass-produce these things. The vision here is a fleet of thousands of Starships, with each one carrying 100 people at a time, all to build the very first human city on Mars.
So think about the journey we've just been on. We went from a tiny chip inside a human brain all the way to a city on Mars. We've seen a version of the future that isn't about fear or negativity, but about just incredible human ingenuity. It's a future built on pure optimism.
And that really is the key takeaway here. Someone who saw all this put it perfectly, saying, "The news can make the future seem so negative, but honestly what I saw gave me hope." And that's the thing to remember. This isn't some far-off science fiction. This is the world being built all around us, right this very second.
Every single one of these incredible breakthroughs, they all started as just an idea in someone's head. The future, it turns out, isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we actively create. So the real final question isn't for me, it's for you. The future is just an idea until we decide to build it. So, what will you build?
And if you're feeling inspired, if you want to be part of that building process, then you should really check out a community that is doing exactly that, shaping tomorrow. It's called AdamAiXpert. That's AdamAiXpert. It's a place to learn all about AI and how to actually build the future. If you want to join that conversation, just send an email to AdamAiXpert@gmail.com. All right, now go out there and build.